All right, Hype TV Sports Sombono. Think kana interview the most strategic Premier League, be the most strategic league in Yellow Shaw, Bakwe Bahako match and man and kana until Tam can lezo. Regardless of the likes of Bundesliga, the La Liga, when Yalaban be Christmas break malabet ban English Premier League krima zanimi kabanguna then to Canada bilungu pulunguna banyela banyi the best then to Canada top five league ngatung kumikar be Europe and then Canada wile once again Chelsea nyala ben Canada host Aston Villa at the Stamford Bridge Saturday 5:30 kickoff then Canada wile this side manyala ban face it taba 65 times from 1995 up to now. Chelsea has been dominant. Then Tekana head to head against Aston Villa. But this season, Aston Villa Nyala Bambe on 11 games win strike and Balaman. Their last 12 games, when Yalaban win 11 times. Chelsea in their last 7 games, they have won only twice. Aston Villa are in better form than Chelsea. But nonetheless, Chelsea then Tekana them and Aston Villa, we all know how Chelsea, but nonetheless, and elsewhere, Liverpool nyala ben hosted Brighton and Hove Albion in that crucial Wolves rather, yes, nyala ben hosted Wolves in their crucial encounter. And not time for us in Manchester City. So matching my Tawaka team related to Kana to Zungo Prisma. Even one the red one Barak Nyane was Sombe Zungo Pune, where 1,000 smart cuts in your match and my team trade the net Tatar Shema Barak. The Chanula. All right. And now Christmas bet. Then nyala Muslim ma then ba make Christmas ma nguna
Then we celebrate. Aba darba yara discounts.
No.
Christmas discounts.
Mamba nang no.
Okay.
That thing is very controversial. So 10-year deal to nyala di inti sapam.
Okay.
So come no take on that one. Chelsea nyala ben who starts Aston Villa Saturday 5:30 at Stamford Bridge. Then cannot with Aston Villa nyala be form puno pam. You know Emre na chimboma, especially the one la
Morgan Rogers.
Yes, Morgan Rogers. Yes, he's in form. Only 7 goals in the Premier League.
Yes.
Chelsea nyala ben host to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea drew against Newcastle last weekend. Chelsea nyala be fourth, Villa base third position. Who like you in the match?
So in terms of season, Aston Villa they are one of the clubs. Premier League map they didn't start very well. We need to see that. But starting season they went about 4 games without winning a single game. They went about 3 or 4 games without scoring a single goal. But after that, so I got in the season that I started, they were one of the teams in the Premier League. They were coming at head coach man. They don't go yellow players so you talk about Morgan Rogers. They were coming after him because when you Aston Villa the main man. We understand ever since season man they started and even from last season performance man they were expecting a lot of performance from him since the beginning of the season, but they were dealing with one of the experienced coaches not in England but in the whole world, Unai Emery. I got to underhandle situation match it tells a story that as a coach the Simpsons are not good in terms of man management, and this is what we like. This is what Arne Slot is lacking at Liverpool. Man management, that's his problem. But Unai Emery showed that. I'm your coach. You need to defend your players, no matter what. Week in, week out. Or at your press conference, Kabu about Morgan Rogers. Oh, you tell me that Morgan Rogers will still pick up the form, and Orabaka to bench you in such a way that he was telling him that I'm playing better. No, Morgan Rogers was one of the poorest players at the Aston Villa side, but he was able to turn things around. And it tells you about Aston Villa, right? It is all about the system. On that number system, at the start of the season, it wasn't picking up, but he kept on going. Kept on believing in his players, and he was playing it. Or have a bench with okay, no, because as a coach, a system, it needs to work with affairs in the 11 man, no matter what, it needs to work. So then they be work. Yes, or make rotations, but you have to communicate to them, and that is what Aston Villa did. And right now, their third is very fair. And they'll be looking to go, I mean, like, and seal their Champions League spot, right? But Chelsea, one of the most inconsistent teams in the Premier League, but inconsistent. We knew like the Simpson net yelle ever since Benji Barcelona, like Yelema, the channel for Yanaga. And right now, I think Enzo Maresca, he wants to experiment a lot because I don't see the need in playing Reece James as a midfielder right now because you have Caicedo. If it is because of like suspension,
Mm-hmm.
I understand, but you don't need to be experimenting right
Okay.
now because you are one of the contenders, right? So I think game one it will be very interesting, especially coming back from Christmas. Players, man, they had a day, a day off. They like Bratton around Tuesday, but just to go and have a day off. So their mind will be fresh and they will come and give all of it. But they might just make a good record against them. But I don't think this time around it will play out. I think Aston Villa is going to win this game.
All right. Thank you, Night Village.
Mm,
This game is a bit dicey
mm,
and tricky. Think United will Aston Villa,
mm,
although they haven't lost in their last 12 matches in no competition.
mm,
But Chelsea think United will,
mm.
due to their inconsistent matching, this odds seems to be favoring Aston Villa. Although Stamford Bridge Academy bet Aston Villa, their last time they met Chelsea, man, they won by 2 goals to 1 after being we go down Cabrato calendar until we Chelsea by 2 goals to 1. But because it's Chelsea, man, took to write Chelsea down because you all know what Chelsea don't put on the Shadan Tenant
But one
Karamala
nonetheless, if they are
also
not
are the
performing, they are
favor,
not performing.
especially coming up against Aston Villa.
Okay.
And with the way Enzo Maresca and Tana Pahe Todd Bully and Tana Pahe Bambi Chelsea management Mapunwanyala
Mm.
Sanwo the Mala they are not in the same side because there are a bit confusion between the manager and the owner due to Enzo Maresca tactics and money. The owner willing to sell Enzo Fernandez, man. And with all this, man, I think Chelsea will be willing to get back to their momentum because they will fight for the Premier League. This game shouldn't be a game this season because Aston Villa Manchester United sham. So if Chelsea is going to sit aloof to watch Aston Villa, to come to Stamford Bridge on Saturday evening, I think is that command then captain Chelsea. I think Chelsea command the willingness to also compete for the Premier League, man. It might be over because this game is very crucial to them because thinking at really Premier League table now the points is not that much huge. So a little mistake I couldn't slip it won't be come on Liverpool is still in a better place to compete for the Premier League. Aston
Well, yeah,
Villa they can, as far
okay.
as the Premier League is not over. The command Arsenal, Manchester City, Aston Villa, command Liverpool.
Mm,
Club Puyinga Camila never saw top Premier League, ma.
okay,
Yes,
that's
because
true.
then can actually gap man when sharing the command the big guy say it's just slim gap soon.
Oh yeah,
So
Dribble girl say,
yes,
but you need to be serious. If you
okay,
are like, I deal with, I mean, like unserious players and like unserious management.
mm-hmm.
Dribble girl say, Enzo Maresca right now, but he promised by next season he's going to Manchester City.
Okay,
So why he doesn't care, and
mm-hmm.
definitely though, Okamna press conference and see it, he is going to stay, and we know Manchester City, they
Okay,
don't like if you check and Guardiola, one thing about him, Oibe club ne ntey oyen permanent negotiations for when kana to succeed man. And we
mm-hmm.
know the relationship he has with Enzo Maresca. You understand? Oh, assistant coach, but he is one of his students. So I don't think Denmark it can play out to me. I don't think honest man
Okay,
like Benjamin they should compete for the Premier League. To
mm-hmm.
be very honest, I
Okay,
don't think because of like I'm pointing out Menyal Ding Channel Club man. I don't think that's the case right now. But
okay.
let's wait and see what will happen.
And between Maresca and Unai Emery,
Mm.
although Maresca and also can win the trophies in the Chelsea, but thinking at you on paper, Emery is far ahead of Enzo Maresca. You
Uh,
know, you
not
can't argue.
not
But
on paper. Ben Shakam, in terms of being a manager, Unai Emery is way ahead of Enzo Maresca.
okay,
Anto argue with that Omala Club World Cup, but in terms of like coaching,
okay,
Unai Emery, Ben Shao on Villarreal by like about three Europa Cup. Sorry, three Europa League Cups. It was not easy. He's one like Neyelma. He's one of the managers or spotlight man, but he's achieving. You
okay,
understand? On kind Aston Villa. Aston Villa, they were around 17th. At that moment, management by Steven Gerrard, but I'm a problem. There's some of core players, man. Those on that charge Steven Gerrard. Some of the players in the Aston Villa, but I don't Steven Gerrard as a coach. So they were like playing poor. So United Embrace can tell that way. Bansham on players ma together and I mean like Uncle Zang wouldn't half season on Zangbana until around 10th. It's not easy. Never near Tony Enzo Maresca no in terms of everything being a coach a standard for winning trophies. No Enzo Maresca na could be kind of close. No,
okay,
let's not this
okay. This season,
disrespect.
we now Embrengela Munyara flexible 4-2-3-1
Mm.
and playing Kamara, Kananchi, Onana as O2 pivot when Sharon Son open the likes of McJane and Roger Espanola, Nefoshiban to command Bantu exploiter, then to Kana Wix Mapulo. But this game, come on, no point, I don't see Aston Villa going to Stamford Bridge to beat Chelsea
Yeah.
because what I saw against Newcastle, then yeah, the first half you saw against Chelsea and Newcastle, then Chelsea should forget. Newcastle, they don't joke, then take kind of attacking wise because come on, they'll give the ball to Chelsea to dominate, but whenever they get the ball straight forward, no time wasting. So come on, Chelsea will be dominating the game. Be patient to both on the back, but Aston Villa don't have that much time to to be possessing straightforward, and Aston Villa young man can be a little bit confident in
Aston Villa Nyanga.
yes. Lindelof from the back is a bit shaking.
Oh my
So they need the likes of
I agree, Shao. United Emirates system, right? It's not down to players who use Mao. It is down to team Maza. Kai
Okay.
individual players in Yaba. Nyama, Aston Villa Nyangba, they are very good. Paul Torres, no man. He's not relying on only two center backs now to do his defending wise. So on both that up, I know two right backs and left backs, man. They are always high the pitch, or double pivot, man. Banning can to occupy the space, man, allowing them but cash mean I don't know other guy
Martin.
man. Now to allow guys man, they'll be very up, being stretching the ball, man. So like his team is down to a system, like it's not individual performance.
Okay.
Yes, Lindelof maybe on top of my good record and at Manchester United, but Aston Villa, he's damn good.
Okay. This game, I'll go for Chelsea win or draw, but when you're predicting, I'll be giving Chelsea 3-0 or 3-1.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea, they know Kabishini Stamford break, not to get the maximum 3 points against United Emirates Aston Villa. The same coach, Buzmo table so you catch people balance on cover because you can't afford
earlier season on Mabu lose to Brighton at Stamford Bridge.
Laden Garia, now Katijara. So
Okay.
I see Cole Palmer once again getting a goal for Chelsea, and if possible, Enzo Fernandez. That player is currently is on form. Tizarani under can be in for Gusto in their match against Newcastle,
Okay.
and the impact he brought onto the field of play. So think the affiliation at the Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Aston Villa Saturday 5:30. Nottingham Forest Manchester City. City nyela ban politika putane. They won't give Arteta a little bit space to come on to rest because Pep Guardiola the wala if we are to ask Arteta ne nle kunye ne so na papa bi ha politika na coaching career, I think you go for Pep Guardiola because the way Pep Guardiola has been tormenting him at that kind of winning of the Premier League on Yellow Shao. Come on, how can it be dearly, So do you also think that Manchester City will to win it Premier League one ahead
So
of Arsenal?
initially
Mm-hmm.
Gazzola Bonham Ateta Wensha. Anye
Okay.
season sanga Ateta Noboto Pele Kanye Oku wide lag gap maka Gazzola Kana Tukulu Selema. It
Mm-hmm.
was down to Gazzola Ateta maybe or relaxations. You understand? Oko Chan Martin ya Oko like Oko Pan try your benation, which is unnecessary. Sometimes injuries by player. But if you are dealing with experienced coach like Gazzola, complacency can.
Okay.
Gazzola is someone who believes that eh, everything is possible. Learn your mindset, and he's always trying to find things out. That's why Guardiola, against maybe Wolves, Bambi around Banye last on the table. He will not go and sit down. Wolves, I know he'll be on the touchline. I mean, like, coaching things, and he's one of the players. He doesn't take nonsense. Coach man, he doesn't take nonsense. As a player, and you know, could misbehave. He's taking you off. So once in which I mean, like, has really worked out for Guardiola in his coaching life is discipline. He is always disciplined, and he's always ready to, I mean, like, learn new things. I mean, I get here, but Guardiola but stick to only one, I mean, like, tactics. That's why mostly he tries to challenge himself. On City, if you look at him every season, Otraimo no Ochisto system.
Yes.
I mean, I get here, but there was a season called Okpa Premier League without a number 9, but without a proper number 9. He was playing with a false 9, but still can win a Premier League now. So it tells you not about him. But Officer not time for us, but consistency not. You understand? Season of Bakara about 2 coaches and Bala. So it tells you a little bit about them. But Manchester City, to me, I still believe they can win the Premier League because it's only 2 points. And Guardiola iti bien ka lehra karmala a drop the points. Ale Arsenal they've been dropping the points recent like but drop the points recently. No that point no you don't win the Premier League in November.
Okay.
Then I think Arsenal's wide gap match to around 8-7 points. That was what he said. So when I sense they won and like he's a coach who he like Okuba no like Omala mindset of always winning. Ngobele rekan mala premier like oh I am just the no he Okuba are winning and that's why one day can club one like the Tanya mutual agreements go
Okay.
he's one of the coaches who doesn't get sacked. No, Okoye Bella club man and no also he on teacher. So that's the coach he is. Yes, he can still win the Premier League. I don't see it to be a surprising thing if we able to play. And by the way, the matter will final season number, so he will want to go out from the club by winning something.
Nottingham Forest City, there's not much to talk about. City to dominate this game and possible Haaland to get a brace, but I see City getting at least 2 goals to 1. Then you Nottingham Forest home and also willing to get an equalizer. But City Chanyaza 1-0. But I see this game to be 2-1 for Manchester City. And last one, Liverpool Wolves. Nda yeli aye den karangala Liverpool ni first team share Wolves ba biyen zam habo sorete kana win polo. And with this fixture man, Anfield, I still stand that it's not a place we used to know. Currently, so campaign to Changwane and to pick up the 3 points.
Kaso kam na to chown man to pick 3 points.
Mansane,
Real Madrid nira kana
Mansane,
bara
Mansane.
were
Banda
able to
Cham.
pick 3 points.
So
It's not
this whole
about
team,
Banda Cham.
and can they surprise Liverpool?
And so if you are dealing with coach so momentum serious, it can happen. So that's honestly like Yama. He has gone about 6 games without losing. Oh, and people are saying that and the slot is getting money. I still don't trust him.
Okay.
On bench like bench at 2025 Kunkuma, he should have been sacked because of that. Losing to Manchester United at Anfield, to losing by 4 goals to 1 at Anfield to PSV. On there are about 3 games, Kabadi single goal. 2 games at Anfield without scoring a single goal. It tells you about you. And what I could by trying to blame his like incompetence on Mohamed Salah. That's just by the way. But game mama, I think Liverpool is going to win. You understand? Wolves been very poor. Even though Arsenal also struggled to win against Wolves
Yes.
some few weeks ago. But I think Liverpool is going to dominate. Right now, Mohamed Salah is at AFCON enjoying his life. He's playing to the fullest, a leader of the Egyptian national team. And it just tells you that Mohamed Salah panning was so unbenched. I said it from the earlier start that Nyama Mohamed Salah nye Liverpool, I mean, like the best goal scorer at Liverpool. Yes, Temal Ekitiki, Isaac Banye, number nines, proper ones. But when it comes to goal scoring, it's Mohamed Salah. We all saw what he did at Brighton. So it tells you about him. And Lamazon Dacha and Benang happy when Arne Slot tried to, I mean, like bring in a new system without Mohamed Salah. 10 year I mean, like from coaches. What about no tweak his system, change the system completely. Okay, players, he doesn't bend them. Banuka orange have a leading charge, man, in changing the la new system, man. You understand? We saw it at Manchester City. Gajoranda Raborno that system, man. You could see him, I mean, like always communication, man, with Brian. Omalai influence. Mohamed Salah is one of the high guys at the club. Players, I mean, like new signings, man. Only about communication, then no good, man. So you need them. But in terms of system, right now, Liverpool only 12 output players, but no fit right now. Injuries, but the coach it is now spoiling things. But I think Arne Slot is going to win. That's if one day Magoma and bring like kind performer under performance against Inter Milan, against those clubs, man, and he'll be good to go. And I don't think Van Dijk, man, Konate do be disturbed a little bit against Wolves. So it will be an easy win against Wolves, especially last game of 2025 at Anfield. You know, it will be a win.
Okay. Different way come and go there. Although Wolves man Jimmy this season, they are the come on the West team in the Premier League, come to me, and coming up against Liverpool. And a few weeks ago, with the performance that exhibited against Arsenal, then you have the same momentum, the same energy they will be using against Liverpool. I think they can surprise everybody.
So Birmingham Wolves game, Birmingham Arsenal game, Maya. It was not as if Brian Lamas and that Arsenal's combating now. They were defending Braco Park Labas. You understand? 5-4-1, typical formation down here. They were not threatening. Threatening us.
They will
so
try.
I could talk Park Bas.
I
I could talk Park Bas in 90 minutes. Good. No, it doesn't happen.
Okay.
They will prevent Liverpool from scoring, but not defeating Liverpool. No, I could defensive game. They definitely know. Banda you can you ball? Liverpool is going to score them.
But one come and win the game.
Okay.
You know, can be in Liverpool. Robert, oh, come on, in the realm of the spirit, you know. I'm seeing Wolves defeating Liverpool.
Okay.
By a go to nil, like can win the game, man. And then they make Liverpool. Kwang match to me, Buntoka runs not. Because with the way command Wolves for man bema Koyen Jia Kabukana anti defeat one that to be command very, very disgrace to Liverpool as a brand, and as a club.
I mean Nottingham Forest from Denda Nisham. Nottingham Forest they were battling with Wolves They defeated him
Forest
3
season. Forest better than Wolves.
They are better than Wolves, but you can't tell me that Nottingham Forest at that time, gradually around 17th, 18th,
okay,
they were able to defeat you at Anfield 3-0. Banebokor against Nottingham Forest, then they cannot sack him against Wolves. Okay. Especially when they go about 5 games without being beaten, 3 games in the Premier League without not losing a single game. You understand? Management might yell at Liverpool that they've given him his backing. And one thing that played to his favoritism was Mohamed Salah interview, man. Okay. It came and it switched the momentum to Mohamed Salah. Focus on also, so it took a little bit of pressure from him. So Mohamed Salah interview, man, it was a helping in disguise for him. You understand? But but in terms of to be very honest, honest was
all right, thing you didn't change now I'm build some polo. So don't kunye shambala. But this goes to some sport journalist Shaban reached out to me, man. All right. The editorial I did a few days ago, and that was just a warning shot. Now I always say that the truth will always be the truth. No, Ibor Beji, no Kunyi Shambalama. The next time will be a missile. No, and that missile, I'll be using Russian missile Shebumbo, the RS-28 Samantima, but they call it Satan 2. So the next time I'll be doing editorial that is going to be on Northern region women football come on, it will blow the whole region, and that's just what I have for for attention. So on Sport Generation, man, reach out to me, man. That's just a one shot kind that. But the next one will be the Satan 2. That means that I can drop it. So this was the Hype TV Sports. Mubarak Damlaka, Martin Yadin Chansham in the coming days. So rate them, subscribe, ma, ka follow your social media handles for exclusive sports content. Assalamu alaikum.